Yes, we are live. I'm so excited about this. Happy New Year, clubbers. I'm so excited that we are live again. We're in a session together. This is Lunchtime Live in a brand new year with a brand new energy. We're trying to bring it all to you today. And it's really, really exciting. Excuse me, as we get ready for a session with Coach Malebo. Coach Malebo is a trauma informed life and relationship coach, and she's going to be talking us through planning and preparing with confidence. Now, 2026 is the year that in Club She Is, we have said that we want to help you achieve your dream income, and we're doing everything in our power to make that happen. So I'm DJing solo today because co-founder and partner in crime, Nyaki, is literally in the air. She's in the air right now. She's flying. She is coming back from her vacay. Absolutely. I hope she absolutely enjoyed herself. You better have enjoyed yourself, okay? Okay? But I'm really excited for today's session. So I'd love to know who is joining us and where you are joining us from. We are live on Facebook, we are live on LinkedIn, we are live on Instagram, we are live on YouTube as well. So we're just waiting for everybody to come through and to join us in this live session. Lunchtime Live, we do this every single Friday with Club Shears community, and we're trying to make sure that we give you all the tools this year to achieve exactly what it is that you want to achieve this year. And this year is about the dream income. Happy New Year, Lindsay! So happy to see you. So you'll be seeing me navigate both of these platforms at the same time because I'm trying to make sure that I'm seeing the computer as well as seeing everybody who is live with us. We've become live streamers. We've become live streamers in our age, eh? As we get older, uh, as we become better at this thing that we're doing, we've become live streamers, guys. We've legit become live streamers. So we're adding on everybody who is joining us from Instagram. So let me know. This is how Lunchtime Live works. We know that your next customer is in the chat section, is in the community. So what you do when we are live every single time is you need to let us know. What is your business? Where are you based? And what do you do? Because your customer is in the chat. Somewhere your customer is in the chat. So let us know who you are, what you do, and what area you're in. We often tend to forget, like, who am I serving? What area am I in? We'll be like, I do rentals. All right, sis, you do rentals, but what type? Is it commercial? Do you specialize in something specific? Are you in a specific area? Let us know. We really do want to know. Okay, Instagram is in the building, but you're looking kind of dodgy, guys. Let's just make sure that Instagram can see us properly. All righties. Hello, Instagram. Welcome to the chat. We're so happy that you've made it. We're happy that you've made it to the conversation. Right? Let's see. Nope. Let's put it on. There we go. We're so happy that you could make it to the conversation. Nombulelo, welcome. Happy blessed, happy compliments, congratulations. I was on a chat with one of our clients yesterday and she said, happy blessed, congratulations, Mary. She's a jolly good fellow to everything, everybody for 2026. All of it. We give you everything. We're saying congratulations in advance. We're saying congratulations to you, to your business, to everything that you're doing. All right. So who's trying to talk to me in the private chat? Okay, it's because our coach is in the building. All right, guys. So if you're joining us for the first time, this is Lunchtime Live by Club She Is. We're a community of women trying to achieve our business and income goals in the year that we're in right now. While we are alive, not in our next generation. We're trying to build businesses that allow us to live the dream life that we want. And as a club, Nyaki and myself are dedicated to giving you the information, resources, and tools to build the systems and automations you need to make that a reality. We're not chasing being overworked. We're not chasing being confused. And we're not chasing that whole work hard and, sleep when you're dead. That's not what we're doing. Systems make your life simple. And we're trying to make sure that we're moving all the clutter out of your life to make sure that you can achieve your goal. 2026 is the year of achieving your dream income, and we want to give you the systems to help you make that a reality. Now, today, we are talking about an area that is not our expertise, but it is the expertise of Coach Malebo, who is a trauma-informed life and relationship coach, and she's going to be talking to us about breaking those barriers that keep us from dreaming big and dreaming with confidence. Today, we are specifically talking about planning and preparing for 2026 with confidence. So let's get Coach Malebo in the building. Po, 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 po. Hello, Coach Malebo. Unmute so that we can hear you.
Oh, I forgot.
There we go. How are
Hello.
you doing? We're so happy to have you in the building. Happy
I'm
New Year.
also
Merry
so
compliments.
excited.
Everything, everybody.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. She's a one jolly good fellow. All of it.
Congratulations for making your dream income. Yeah, that.
Yes. I think that's what we should be doing. We should be congratulating on making your dream income. That's what it is.
Exactly, yes.
That's what it is. So, Coach Malebo, can you please tell us more about yourself and what it is that you do?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Coach Malebo, or I am known as Coach Malebo. I am a trauma informed life and relationship coach. And for the past 10 years, I've dedicated my life, my gift, and the whole of my being into helping people transform their lives, heal themselves from the things that happened in the past that are affecting how they show up, especially today, because we're talking about business, how they show up in their businesses today. And as we heal this, we are able then to create the life that we want and have businesses and incomes that we want.
I love that. Can you please share with us how you work with people? So before we get into the session that we have today, we'd really love to know, how do you work with people, and how did you even get into this type of work that you do?
All right, let me answer the first one. So I had my fair share of trauma when I was growing up. I was sexually abused as a young kid. I think I was around the ages of 8, right? And I didn't know how that affected me. But later on in my life, I could see that I had problems, but I didn't know it was pointing back to that. And when I started healing myself, I remember there was a time when I was praying to God that, God, can you please help me heal? And when you heal, I will take this gospel to the people. And that's how the whole coaching started. And I started doing sessions with a coach in America. And then I decided I want to help people in South Africa, because I know there are people in South Africa who needs this, and not from a person who's abroad, but from a person that they can see, they can relate to. And that's how I started doing the work that I do. And the second question is that I work with people online. I do coaching sessions online. And part of my biggest business is hosting retreats. I have retreats, women's retreats. And the last one, successful, very successful one, was in Bali last year. So I host retreats in South Africa, outside of South Africa, and even outside of the continent.
We love it. We love it's Bali plus the healing for me. It's
Yeah,
not just Bali plus the healing. So
exactly.
every single one of us, Lindsay saying, hello, Coach Malebo, Happy New Year. Blessed to be with you. And I know that people who go with you to these retreats also receive such a huge blessing in terms of the healing. I can only imagine healing in paradise.
You know, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's amazing, and we absolutely love the journey that you've been on as well. It's inspiring to find out, you went through something and you created a business because you were once the person you are trying to coach today.
Yeah,
And the thing we often forget is that we're not the only ones going through what we're going through.
yeah,
And you can, I love what you said, that if, Lord, if you can heal me, then I will come back and help other people with the same thing that you gave me. And that's something that's, I mean, that's absolutely beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. So
thank
now,
you.
last question before we go live. What was your biggest fear starting your business?
Will people listen to me? That is that was the biggest one, because the life that I was living before, did not even show that I was a coach or I could be a coach. And, so I was just a person just living a normal life. And I was asking myself, would people really listen to me? When I have to tell them that, your traumas or the things that happened to you in the past affect how you show up in your life, in your businesses, in your relationships. But here I am. People have been listening to me for 10 years now.
Amazing. And you look fabulous. Your social media, by the way, it's beautiful. You're always looking on point. So I'm just going to ask you to do one more thing. Are you able to tilt your camera towards your wardrobes and then you also just shift a bit so that the lighting is a bit better? Just a
Like this?
small. There we go. Yes, because I can tell the window is this side.
Oh,
Perfection. Fine. Are you comfortable?
yes.
There we go. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to hand it over to you because Coach Malebo has prepared something for us to also go on our own journeys. When it comes to dreaming big, sometimes there may be things that we have gone through in our lives that are actually hindering us from getting onto the next stage to be able to dream bigger. One of the master classes that we had this week, we spoke about what is your dream income number. Okay, what is that number?
Mm.
And it became very apparent that, what, sometimes I'm scared to dream big because I don't know that number. There's something that's just like, in the back of my head the number is 2 million, but when I think about it the number is only 15,000. And it's
Yeah.
just like, what's stopping me from the 2 million?
Yeah.
Something internally knows that something needs to shift. I just don't know what it is. So how can we plan and prepare with confidence? And that is what Coach Malebo is going to be taking us on. So round of applause for Coach Malebo in the building.
Hello, everyone. I hope that you can hear me. Please let me know on the comment section that you can hear me, that you can see the screen. Um, yeah, I can see it better now. I was about to tell you, Kopado, that on the screen it didn't look so nice, but it's fine now. Hi, everyone. My name is Malebo Old John Zindi. I am known as Coach Malebo. And today we are planning and preparing to face 2026 with clarity and confidence. And today I will be taking you on why your inner work determines your outer results. But before we dive into that, I've already spoken about this, but let me just go through it. I am a trauma informed life and relationship coach. I don't just heal people from gigantic traumas and big dramatic traumas like sexual abuse, but I also help people with wounds and childhood upbringing that is affecting them now as adults. I'm also an author of 4 books and a keynote speaker speaking on topics such as trauma, nervous system regulation, and also healing. I, like I've already mentioned, host retreats. If you want to join my retreats, I promise you, you're going to enjoy yourself. So I host retreats in South Africa, outside of South Africa, and outside of the continent. So today, as we are preparing for 2026, we know, and I know that you have said this, I know I've said this before when I didn't know better. And today you are going to know better. Every year starts with the same type of words: new year, new me, and new goals, new strategy, new pressure, new income goals. Every year we start with this, but by March people have burned out, people are confused, they got self-doubt and also inconsistent results. And we wonder why do we always say this is my income, like Kopano said, and 2 million rand, 1 million, whatever amount it is. And then you find yourself later on to saying, let me just take 15,000. It's actually okay. Why that happens? The truth that we normally don't speak about is that our businesses are not separate from us. So most of the time, when we doing goals, writing our goals, and especially about our businesses, because I know that Klapshi is helps our businesses grow, right? What we do, we thinking that I'm just selling a weight loss pill or whatever it is. I'm just selling a hair product. So my business has nothing to do with me and the things that happened to me. However, today I want you to learn that your business is an extension of you. Just like I started saying that this is what happened to me. I have been traumatized before. And when I asked God for healing, I said, God, please help me so that I can take this gospel to the people, right? Or this healing to the people, right? Because how you show up internally, right? How you show up equals to how your business is going to show up externally. So many of us, we're thinking the things that happened to us in our past, the things that happened has nothing to do with how we show up in our businesses. So today I'm sharing with you three mistakes that we do when we are planning for the new year, that we don't take in consideration in order for us to have clarity and also confidence to achieve our goals. The first one is that many women don't, we don't acknowledge the things that we are carrying. We don't say, I am carrying pain from my previous marriage or the relationship. I am carrying pain from my job, where I used to be overworked. I am carrying this from, how I grew up. People used to tell me I'm too skinny or I'm too light or whatever it is. We don't do that. What we do is that we write business goals. We write revenue targets. Like right now, how much do you want to earn? If people ask you right now, how much do you want to earn? You are quick to say 2 million, 3 million. But what we don't take in account is the emotional patterns, right, that we are carrying, the relationship wounds that we are carrying, and the belief systems that we are carrying. So let me tell you a story about myself, just to help you relate to this. When I speak about trauma and healing ourselves and confronting the things that happen to us, I'm not talking only about big traumas. At the age of 4, my brother was born, and that was one of my biggest wounds that I ever had to deal with in my business. So when my brother was born, obviously when there is a new child, the attention shifts from me as an older child, because I was 4 years of age, to now a baby, right? And that on its own created beliefs in me that I'm not worthy of love, right? I'm not worthy at all, right? When I started my business, the other businesses that I started, I wondered why people are not buying from me. Why am I not reaching my income goal? Why this and that? But internally, I did not believe that I was worthy of it because of something that happened to me in the past. Do you see how it all connects? So the thing is that your business reflects your inner world, right? And your confidence, how you price, how you market, all goes back not only to the market price and the bench price and all that, but it goes internally to you. Today you are saying you want to have 2 million rand, you want to make an income of 2, 3, 5 million rand, but how you are pricing doesn't point back to you making that million. And then by March, you are burned out because you have been working and undercharging. And you're asking yourself, why can't I get the amount that I need? Because you are not working on yourself. So unhealed experiences don't stay personal. So you can have things that happened to you when you were young, or maybe in your recent past experiences and all that. Those things don't stay personal. They go in every area of your life, including your business. And it doesn't matter that you are selling a hair product, a skincare product, or whatever. What matters is that the business is you, and how you are showing up for that business determines what you are going to attract. There were times when I used to attract clients who used to drain me. Like when I worked with them, I felt like, oh my goodness, I don't want this client anymore. But because of my attachment wounds, I was attracting those type of clients. Those clients who always wants to to negotiate your price. You're saying I'm charging 18,000. They like, no, why don't I have 17,000? So why don't you go to a person who's charging 17,000? Why are you coming to me? Only to find out that the things that I am carrying is now determining the direction of my life. So in 2026, guys, when we are writing our income goals and all the things that we want in our businesses, the first goal that you must have is you. You are the project that you need to work on, right? And I always say to people that your business can never outgrow the level of your self connection. The connection that you have with yourself, it can never outgrow that. So if the connection that you have is this, that is exactly where your business is going to be. But if the connection is up there, that is exactly where the connection is going to be, right? Now, the second mistake that we do is planning from the inside out, from the outside towards the inside. We are planning from the outside. We are looking at what Kopano is doing. We are looking at what Coach Malebu is doing. We are looking and determining our lives from there, right? You check that influencer saying that 2026 is going to be the year of personal branding. Already you are saying, I need to work on my personal brand. The other one says, no, we are actually fasting for 21 days, and you're saying, I'm there. And suddenly you feel overwhelmed, confused, and disconnected to yourself, because the things that happened to you in the past have taught you that you can never trust yourself. You can never trust the being that you are. You need to look outside to other people on Instagram, on Facebook, or wherever, but you can't sit with yourself and trust yourself. Do you see why we need to work on ourselves as we work on our businesses? So we don't only work on colors and logos and all that. We also work on our internal being. Because the real issue, like I said, you don't trust yourself. Women, and I know Klapshi is for women. Women have a higher intuition. But now, when you are carrying things within you, you suppress that intuition, whatever you call it, the gut feeling, Holy Spirit, whatever it is, you suppress it. You silence your inner voice and you look outside for authority, people to tell you what to do in your business. You don't go and say, Kopano, this is what I want for my business. You wait for them, for Kopano to say, this is what you need for your business, and you say yes. And because, again, life and our experiences have taught us that God is externally, God is somewhere else. And I would be doing an injustice if I don't mention this. This is one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. When I read it, I was like, this one, that is it. It says, it's in the book of Romans. It says, the spirit that rose Jesus from the dead lives inside of us. And the other one in the book of Luke, it says the kingdom of God is within us. It doesn't talk about a business, or maybe a building, or maybe a sky. It says within us. So when we go deep within us and start to trust ourselves, start to confront the things that happen to us, so that we can take out layers and layers of conditionings and programmings that God didn't intend for ourselves, then we will be able to plan and prepare for 2026 with clarity and with a confidence. Thank you, Kopano. Okay, so the last one is, oh no. The last one is fear of missing out. I don't know if Kopano can take out, I can see myself, yes. The fear of missing out. FOMO is not about content. It's not about trends. It's not about Instagram. It's a trauma response. It comes from the fear of being left behind. You're thinking, oh my goodness, if I don't post this way, then I'm left out. If I am this way, then people are not going to like me or like my content and all of those type of things. So while we are planning for 2026 with clarity and confidence, we need to sit within ourselves and ask God the season that God wants for us this year. We need to sit with ourselves. What do you want me to do, God? Because if we don't go deeper within ourselves, then we will be like, we're having this fear of missing out. If somebody's doing a personal brand, we start doing a personal brand. I see a lot of people doing everything. Today you are a career coach, tomorrow you are a personal brand coach, the other day you are, because people are not rooted in themselves and they thinking, if I don't do this, then I'm not going to have clients. But let me tell you, there's an abundance of clients, abundance of money, abundance of everything available for everyone. It's from this world. It's so big that when I have my million rent, it doesn't mean that you can't have your own million rent, right? And if I am a coach and I'm a trauma informed coach, and there are hundreds and thousands of trauma informed coaches out there, it doesn't mean that I cannot reach my clients. And I don't need to look at this trauma informed coach, how they do things. I need to look within to go back to myself and to my God. Right? I don't know if you can see this. This was written with very smaller letters. But anyway, when you feel unseen, you know, again, we grew up in bigger homes, especially as Black individuals. We, our parents had like 6 to 14 children, and you may be the one in the middle, and your parents never see you. They don't even hear you. They don't choose you. So sometimes, because of those feelings, you learn that you must stay alert, and that is where the FOMO comes from. You must stay alert. You must always keep up with the trends. You must because if you slow down, you will lose love, you will lose relevance, you will lose money. So now you post everything, you are everything to everyone, and that is not alignment. That is actually survival. So as we are planning, what I'm trying to say with these 3 mistakes that we do, because from our mistakes we can learn better. What we can do is to learn that if I go deep within me and ask God for this season of my life, I'm able to achieve a lot more. But if you are saying from the top of your head, I want to have a million rand because there's a personal brand who's doing the same thing as me and earning a million, I'm telling you, you are going to be burned out by much, and you are going to be confused, and you wouldn't know what to do, right? So, clarity. If you want clarity, clarity comes with connection, and connection comes from self. The connection that you have with yourself and the God that is within you, right? Confidence comes from self-trust. So these 2 things, you don't have to look for them outside. You cannot be confident because somebody's training you how to be confident. You need to start trusting yourself. And when you trust yourself, then you start becoming confident. So if you want to prepare for 2026, here are the few things. I want you to take a screenshot that for this so that you don't forget. Consult with yourself and your God. I wanted to say your God within, right? Trust, consult with yourself and the God within, right? And then also hire coaches, hire therapist, hire psychologist, whatever that is working for you. There are people who feel like, oh, coaches don't work for me, maybe a therapist. Or somebody feels like, for me, it's a coach and a therapist doesn't work for me. Whatever, but work on yourself, because when you work on yourself, you begin to work on your business, and your business will show up as the truth of who you are. Kopano said it that, my Instagram looks so beautiful and all that. That beauty is the beauty that is already deep within me. I worked on that. It took me years to get to the place where I am, to even get a person who can help me show up as who I am on the inside, right? And then hire a team. I don't know how big is your business, but hire a team, right? I remember not so long ago, I was sitting with Nyaki. I think it was on the 19th of December. Everybody was having a nice time and all that. And I was sitting with Nyaki with the ads that we were running for my upcoming course, online course. And Nyaki was like, why don't you open the retreat for Dubai? And I'm like, no, it's already sold out. So anyone who wants to go to the retreat will go to the next one in 2027 or whatever. She said, you need you need to open up for group 2, because people already trust you with the retreats. That is the business that you are doing. And believe you me, I did not think about that. What I was thinking about was that this online course that I am launching must work. So I was looking for ways for that online course to work. But she said, but you already have something that is working, So while that thing is working, let's build this one, but open it up. And I opened up for registration. I had 4 people registering within 2 days. Do you see, when you have a team of people, mentors, right? Coaches or business coaches, people like Nyaki and Kopano, they are able to see beyond what you cannot see. So hire a team. And sometimes what we do as people is that we like, I want to have a million, I want to make a million rand in profit in my business. But what we do is that we don't live from that vibration. We are not, we still living from a vibration of 1,000, I I'll always tell people that with me, when I say I want to make a million, then the payments that I need to make, from whether I have a million or not, they show up as what I want. It's a deposit, that this is what I want my business to be. So don't go with affordability, go with what the vision, the vision that God has given you says about you, and then do the work that God wants you to do. Don't deviate. There's a whole lot of information on TikTok, on Facebook, and all of those type of things. Do the work that God wants you to do, right? That is the first thing that you need to do. The second one, I want you to write a quote that is going to help you take accountability, right? A quote that is going to hold you accountable. My quote says, when I heal myself, I give other women permission to heal too. So for people who know me from school or whenever in the past, before I started healing myself, they knew me as a person who's very preserved. I didn't want the life that I'm living now. I didn't even think that I would leave it because of the past, the pains that I've went through. I was a very shy person. I didn't want to speak until I was spoken to. But when I started healing myself, I gave a lot of women permission to heal too, because people started saying, what did you do? And then I take them on a journey of healing themselves. So with you, not your business, when you do that thing, what is it that it helps other people do? The people that God called in your life, right? And lastly, that is where you can find me. I am Coach Malebo everywhere, right? Coach Malebo on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. And also, if you want to hire me, maybe to come and speak or facilitate a healing session, whatever it is that you are doing, you can send me an email on pa@malebooljon.com. And that's it from me for now. I don't know if you have any questions. Yeah, so I'm done.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Coach Malebo, for being with us today. I'm very excited about what you said, because I think if we watch through this recording again, it's going to force us to ask questions. And the example that you made about even something like when your little brother was born, we don't tend to think about something like that and say, okay, how did it actually affect me? And how did it develop this new way of thinking?
Mm,
Where if I don't always be there, if I don't pay attention, if I'm not always, up
yeah,
there, then I'm missing out. And it was a pattern of thinking that we had when we were younger.
yeah,
And as a result, now we're still acting that way. And it's from a form of trauma. So can I ask you, and I think a lot of people also have this question, we tend to not really have the same ideas of what trauma is. So I'm just trying to find the right way to put this.
Mm,
Um, we tend to think it's like something big, like I was in a car accident,
yeah.
or but you gave us a new definition today. And it can be things that are big and small.
Yes.
Um, but they affect us for a long time. Can you help us really wrap our minds around, what can a trauma be and how deep can that affect us?
Okay. So trauma is relative. A child can fall from the bed, and they can feel like I'm traumatized, and maybe later on in their lives have issues with heights. And then somebody can fall from the bed, another child can fall from the bed and don't feel like that. So it's all connected to us as people, right? And how we carry things. I know there are people, maybe I can speak to you and say, why do you look like that? Some other person can say, why are you speaking to me like that? And another person can say, okay, I look like that because, and don't take it personal, right? So trauma is relative, but what I always encourage people to do is to heal themselves from the programming of the past. Usually I say, Kopano, that if you want to be successful in life, tell me, who have you seen being successful, right? If you want to be a successful black woman or successful white woman or whatever, who in your bloodline or when you grew up have you seen that has been successful? And that may not look like it's trauma. It may look like, no, it's something like, it's easy, but those type of things are the conditioning. These are things that conditions us. If you haven't seen anyone who made a million when you were growing up, because between the ages of 0 and 7, that's where most of our lives are created. So if you haven't seen anyone at that age being successful, why do you think you can be successful? So to answer your question, trauma can be as deep as affecting how we relate to money, how you grew up and how your parents handled you, what you believed about yourself. And sometimes it's not like, for me, my parents didn't intentionally say, we are going to traumatize you by having another child. But to me, that's how I took it, right? And it can go as deep as affecting how we show up, in life. There are people who are shy. Like I said, I was shy because of the things that happened to me. I didn't think I was worthy of a limelight. I was worthy of anything. I just thought, you know what, in life, just give me the bare minimum, then I will be fine. So trauma can go as deep as affecting your marriage, affecting your finances, affecting everything that has to do with you. But there is a good side, right? The good side is that you can heal yourself. You can work on the programmings that or the things that hurt you in the past, and use those type of things to actually motivate yourself that if I'm coming from there, then I will get where I want to go.
I love that. I love how you're saying that if I'm coming from there, I can actually go somewhere else. I can actually
Mm,
change the way I see myself as well, which is so important. We tend to not really think about, how do I see myself? How am
mm,
I going to do that for myself? So one thing that I wanted to say, I've been seeing it more often, which is that now we're going to be saying that, this year we are going to be well healed. Our nervous systems are going to be well healed. We're going to succeed this year because we're not going to be trying to build businesses with our nervous systems all over the place. We're just like, nope, I'm gonna be a well-heeled girly, because the more healed you are, the more you're able to process what is happening in your life and in your business. Like you said, not taking things as personally, when it isn't something that isn't as personal, but being able to realize, why do I respond that way? Why am I limiting what I can earn? Why am I feeling this way about my business? How is this actually all happening? So, Coach Malebo, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being in the room. And thank you so much for this session. And we're going to let you go now. Thank you so much. We
thank
appreciate you.
you.
Check out Coach Malebo at Coach Malebo everywhere.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much, Kopano. Thank you to Club She Is for trusting me with their people.
All right, good people. Thank you so much for joining us today. Caitlin, Seth, Mandy, thank you so much. Teen Coach Lisoro had a question, and she was actually asking, I'm not sure if Coach Maleb was still in the building, but she's asking, I want to hire therapists, etc., but they are so expensive. How do we navigate that?
The first thing that I would say is that teen coach, she's a coach. Are you expensive? And also, expensive is a relative. But what do you want to achieve in your life? And what would it take you to get there? If it takes you having a therapist in your life, do everything that you can to get there. Because sometimes we limit ourselves. You were just talking about it, Kopano, now that we will be like, yeah, I want this amount of money, but I'll settle for 15,000. Why do you limit yourself? If you want to have a million rent and the vehicle that can take you there is you having to have a coach or having a therapist, please do everything in your powers to have. Woo, there's a whole lot of lightning here, sorry. Do everything in your powers to get to that point, to paying an expensive therapist, because expensive, you might think it's money you can make more of it, but time, you can't go back and create more time for yourself. We only have 24 hours, right? So go and do whatever it takes for you to get to that point. I have hired Club She Is, and they don't come cheap. I'm telling you, they don't come cheap. But I said, if I want to get to the income that I want to get, I need to operate from that level. I need to pay from that level of, the money that I want to achieve in my life.
I absolutely love that you said that, because sometimes you have to ask yourself, like, what is your dream worth? And if that is the barrier that you can see that is standing in between you and the thing that you want to achieve, then that is something that, like you said, do everything in your power to remove that barrier. And that is why this year, we definitely are taking every angle. We're just like, okay, we put out the master classes, they're not watching. They're watching the master classes, they're not acting. And we're just like, what barriers are in the way? Because we are demolishing them. We are demolishing them this year. Okay, so 3 things that I need you to do if you joined us here today. 1, leave a comment. Okay, leave a comment on this conversation. 2, share it with somebody who needs it. Share it on your profile. Let people know. Let us know what really stood out the most for you. We're going to put up a summary of this conversation in the next reel that we'll be putting up on our social media posts. But most importantly, we do have a cheat sheet that will come from this in the new week. So make sure that you are part of the Club She Is membership. It is completely free for you to get the app. Premium classes, that's when you now have to join the premium membership. And that's where we have the master classes that you need in order to learn how to build your systems, how to run ads, how to put up your sales pages, how to do your social automations. All those systems that we say that you need in your business so you can work smarter and have your automations and your systems work for you, so you don't always have to be burnt out, because we're not doing any of that this year. We are chasing the income that we want. We're going to be healed girlies, right? Business baddies, making our money and achieving our dream income. So thank you everybody who's joined us. And here we go. So Teen Coach Lesero is saying, I hear you, makes sense. Teen Coach, we hope to see you in the next one. And we hope that you are coming to say that, I'm investing in someone. Or maybe hire a coach. Start off with a coach, start off with a group, something, right? But don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Maybe it is that you need to get into a group session with Coach Malebo if she has one, right? Maybe it might be that save up over a couple of months. That once off payment might not make it, but maybe if you save over 2 months, save over 3 months, and have that session, you'll start to see how important and how much it really unlocks in you. Wendy is saying, yo, I really needed this. Thank you so much. Thank you, Coach Malebo. Caitlin is saying, it's more expensive to continue creating your life from trauma and limitations. Preach, sisters. It's more expensive to continue living your life from a point of trauma. It really is. And then Mandy is saying, you can see how your business has leveled up when you're working on yourself, right?